call the July 8th meeting to order. Start with our pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have some minutes to approve from our prior meetings. First of all, the June 24th, 2019 public hearing meeting minutes.
I motion to approve the public hearing minutes from June 24th.
Motion been made to approve the June 24th public hearing minutes.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jackie, seconded by Donnie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
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 Opposed? Carried unanimously. The June 24th, 2018 regular council meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the June 24th regular council meeting minutes.
Motion made by Lynn, seconded by
I'll second.
Kyle, to approve the June 24th, 2018 regular council meeting minutes. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimously. Additions to the agenda.
I do not have any unless somebody else has something to add.
We will add our admin position, replacement position. Discussion we had, with that we'll put underneath workshop, talk about
Okay.
that. Okay. Anybody else have anything?
I'll approve it with the admin, portion of the admin being below the workshop for a reminder.
Motion been made by Donnie to approve the agenda with the one additional change.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Lynn. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Building permits. Mr. Jim, we have a few tonight.
We have 3 building permits today. First one I have here is for Dave and Jessica Rushlow. We build a new house at 314 Cart Street. It's lot 2, block 4, Pondview Estates. We approved the permit with the condition that the front of the house, including the overhang, is 40 feet in from the right-of-way. The plan he gave us was 30 feet. And we had agreed some time ago that those houses along there would be 40 feet in from the right-of-way, so that parking would not, 2 cars wouldn't be over the sidewalk. Felt that we should start there. I think Don talked to him, he said that wouldn't be a problem, get back to 40 feet.
Our normal code is 30 feet, correct?
Well, the code says we can't allow them closer to 30 feet. We can go as far back as we feel is appropriate.
Yeah. Should our code be 40 feet? I guess that's my question. That's a different discussion, but...
That's a different discussion, I don't know.
Because I
that would
agree
be
with-
one for discussion, because you find it all over, cars parked
Yeah.
over the sidewalk.
Yeah,
You don't
and
want
with
them
30
on the
feet,
sidewalk.
can you get 2 trucks in the driveway?
You can't.
My little trucks you can't, but, you know, those...
You can't. And it's not just, you're gonna stop 3, 4, or 5 feet from the garage anyhow. You're not gonna-
Right.
And then there's gotta be 3, 4 feet between them, and the 40 feet is, you need all 40 feet to do
I agree,
that.
I agree.
You know, and so we would like them to be back 40 feet, but as long as we're starting a new line down in that end, let's start it out right.
Do it right.
Yes, that was
And the house on this end was at 40 and then he had moved it up.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it was
we,
originally 40.
Right,
Okay.
originally we had
so we
said,
went back to the original plan that we had done back then. So
Yeah.
that's what it has to be.
yeah, that house next year is, we
Yeah.
had set that at 40 feet, and then that got marked up a little bit.
Good. Good job, guys.
Then we have a shed by Mark and Stephanie Biden. And it's a hard place to get one in there because of the sewer lines and the configuration of the lot and that. And so we approved it on the condition that the north wall of the new garage aligned with the north edge of the concrete pad that he has in front of his house. That will put it, what, about 25 feet from roughly from the right of way. And 30 feet is really what should be minimum. But there's no other way of getting it in there without going over his sewer line. north and south on the west side of his house. There's the main sewer line goes between all those houses. And all the houses' sewer line runs straight over to it. And so if you would put it next to his garage, it would sit over his sewer line. And Bob didn't really want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
It's not a major sewer line, it's his own personal sewer line, but that would be covering up quite a bit of it. And so we would stretch it that 5 feet and say, okay, if he's willing to do that, he already has a concrete pad there that aligns with the front of his current garage, and then it would sit east and west. And his door would be on the east side, so when he comes in the driveway, he would turn and go in there. That's our understanding, the way it is there.
With the 25 feet, does he need a variance for that? Can he sign off on that?
Technically, he should have a variance for that 5 feet. We would say if you're willing to give him that 5 feet, okay. It's a judgment call in your case. If you say he should clearly have a variance for that,
I have
for
no
5
problem
feet,
with it.
but technically, yes. Technically, it's 30 feet. There's also other issues there. Again, it's trying to get somebody to have something that doesn't fit in that location. Technically, it shouldn't be in front of the house, but it's a corner lot, so really the front is over here, but it still doesn't align with the rest of the buildings then. There's only one other house, you know, on that street, and so it still doesn't, now it will not align with that. There's no way he can align with that unless he sits it right on the sewer line. And so it's you know, we can, so if you guys are comfortable with saying okay without going through the variance process, that's expensive, time consuming. If you're gonna say, well, we're gonna approve the variance anyhow,
Yeah.
that's.
My personal opinion is I'm okay with it, and I applaud you guys for working with the homeowner there, Mark and Steph, and making it happen. I realize that's a difficult situation there, and sometimes we have to be flexible and make things
They
work.
really don't have any other options.
Right, and that sounds like the best option.
That's what it comes down.
Yep.
The only question would be, is there any pushback from any potential neighbors there?
Well, we obviously did not talk to the neighbors.
Correct.
They do own, that's one of the other issues there. They do own a lot that's west of them
Between
yet.
the two.
A 44-foot lot that is west of them that will not, that this is not on it, and this is, comes to about 10 feet. The rear of this comes to about 10 feet from that lot line, and then there's another 44 feet, I think it is, to the neighbor's lot line. So even the back of this garage is even going to be, 50-some feet from the neighbors, and that's their garage is on this end also, so I don't think that will be an issue there. It's not like there's another house right up against there, and that was part of our decision, that it's kind of, in one of those locations where you'd probably give them a variance if they ask for it.
Sure.
And, we have to send out all them letters and make them wait a month and have a public hearing and cost $250 to say, okay, we made it. So that's up to you people. But we thought that under circumstances, we would say that if he's willing to move it to he had it on the south edge of his slab, that's in front of his house.
We have
And we-
about 4 feet.
Yeah, and we moved it about 4 feet to the north edge of the slab, so it aligns with his garage, then the north edge of the slab.
Is he in agreement with your?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Okay.
We don't know that yet.
We will be passing it as of what we're talking about, if everybody was okay on the council. And after the council meeting, I'll go over and talk about it.
And Don agreed he'd go over and talk to him tomorrow. And
So the 5 feet is actually from the street side right here? Or not from, or is it from the side where there's a neighbor? I think you said it's from the street, right?
well, no, the way he has it in the plan, it's 20 feet from the street.
So you
Or,
move it back.
yeah, and we're moving it 5 feet
So
further
you-
from the street. So
But
it's
it'd still
about,
be within 5 feet of the 30-foot.
yeah, about 5 feet. We don't, it's not one of those cases, we don't have the right-of-way stake there. And And so technically, we could say, I guess, well, we gotta wait for the right of way to be found, but sometimes people get a survey for that, and it's, the street here is, the curb goes over this way, and then the grass goes out in the street a ways, and then the curb goes back in over there. It's again, one of those places that are just a little exceptional, and that's why we thought we would let this one go on that line. If there was another house right up against there that it would bother, I would think differently, no question. But here it's the only thing, there's only one more house, and that's on the other corner of that lot, on the corner of the block, the whole block. And there will be no house on that lot in the middle, it's only 44 feet wide. Even if they wanted to sell it, you'd have to make a 20-foot wide house, and that's not going to, our rules prevent that from happening. So it could never, the house would never fit in there. So that's what we decided there, right, wrong, or indifferent, I guess. And then we had one more that just came in this afternoon from Stacy Rackow, R-A-K-O-W, 316 Ronald Avenue. I believe that's the house just east of the Habitat Humanity House. Was, I call it that, but it was a Habitat Humanity House on Ronald Avenue there. And she wants to put a deck on the back of the house. The drawing is pretty crude, it's the understatement, but there's lots of space back there, and she wants to just put a deck straight out the middle of the back of the house, 10 by 12 feet, something like that. So got it on here, 12 by 16 feet, straight out the middle of the back of the house. And they don't have any problem with that. You know, the building inspector has.
They will ask that because they're attaching it to the house, so it's
Yeah.
gotta have footings.
And he has the plans already.
He
He has the plans already, we don't have them here, so he's gonna, I'm sure he'll approve that. So we recommended that you approve that. And I wrote on these forms the conditions on the bottom, so and I'll try to put those in the minutes also all the time, so we have an official record of them. Very good, so it's on there.
Good job, guys. Looks like you had a little bit of work to do, and you did a good job doing the homework there. Appreciate that. Any comments from anybody on any of those? So, if not, I would look for a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve the permits.
Motion made by Jackie to approve the 3 building permits as presented. Seconded by Kyle. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Initiative Foundation 2015 donation request of $1,450. This is for next year, and they would invoice us in January for what that is. I think that's very forward thinking on their part to help us with the budget, so we make sure we budget for that if we indeed determine to distribute or donate. And I believe that's what we donated last year, was $1,450. If my numbers are, my memory serves me correct.
That's gonna be one of my questions, what did we do last year?
$1,450, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the number. It was kind of a different amount like than that. You know, I mean, different, not a rounded number.
Do any of our local businesses, I mean, do we know that they've had anything to
Does
do with
anybody
them?
use them? Yeah.
Use them?
There's businesses.
There's businesses that do,
Okay.
yeah.
Good,
I've seen some
Yeah.
gap financing.
okay. That's just good, because like I said, I haven't
Yeah,
heard that.
no, I think
So I was just curious as to where,
I think they're a good resource that's out there. They do some things with foundations as well. I know that, I don't know that this necessarily relates to that, but I think they're out there doing good things, so.
I'll make the motion, we give $1,450 for next year.
2020, motion made by Donnie to donate the $1,450 as requested from the Initiative Foundation in 2020.
I'll second
Seconded
it.
by Lynn. All in favor, please indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Temporary one-day liquor license fee waiver from request of the Oktoberfest-Lions. The Lions requested the liquor license last month, but they also were requesting to have the fee waived for that liquor license, which is what we have done in the past. We kind of missed that out the last month's meeting. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the fee waiver for the Lions Club for Oktoberfest.
motion's made by Jackie to waive the fee for the liquor license for the Oktoberfest.
I'll second.
To the Lions. Seconded by Kyle. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Interim Pay, Deputy Clerk, Carrie Tyson. We all know Nicole is leaving us Thursday, July 11th is her last in-house day. She'll be using some comp time for the following week, so she would be available. But for all practical purposes, we won't see her around the office after that. In the past, we've had Carrie, our deputy clerk, take over and perform those duties. And in the past, we've given her a bump in pay for the period of time that she would be doing that. And I'm suspecting we should do that again this time.
What has that been in the past?
In the past, I think we, last time was 20. We upped it to $20 an hour. So it was an additional $297 then, right?
Yeah.
Something
Something like that?
Yeah.
What are you making, Nicole?
Right now?
Yeah.
27 something, 27.40.
So is she gonna be taking on all of your duties then while you're gone?
I would imagine so, yes.
Yes, sir.
So wouldn't it be fair then to bump her up to an equal of what Nicole is making in the interim? If she's doing the same job that Nicole is doing?
Yeah, there's an argument for that.
I mean, it seems fair to me that, you know, it's less than what, you know, it's in the middle of what they're paying, or at least the bottom wage of what we're kind of advertising for. I just think it's fair.
Well, and I certainly would have recommended we go more than the 20, you know, than we had the last time or two, because she's done it a couple of times and proven she can do it. So that would have been my recommendation. I'm not sure that I'd have bumped it up to that amount, to where she's at this time.
Or at least to the minimum of what the range
That
is
range
that we're
would be-
hiring for.
Right, would make more sense there.
Which is what, the 24 something?
23.40.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair, at least the minimum wage that we would advertise it for in the interim to pay her in that wage bracket. That's fair to me. Being that she's done it a few times before, I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but just she's offering and stepping up to do that. I think that that's the right thing to do at a very minimum amount, being that she's done it several, you know, a couple times before and she's proven herself.
I'd be okay bringing her up to
Yeah, the number I had previously in mind actually was 24, but I mean, if, I don't know exactly what that range is.
24.50.
I mean, 24.50? Okay, I mean, I don't have a problem with that either, so.
I don't see that there's a problem. She's done it before.
Yep.
I guess we're waiting to find out, that's your admin thing that's gonna be below this, maybe we should put that above it, just so we could have talked about where you're at with your admin stuff.
Well, we can talk about it, and we can come back to that.
I mean, just to give us the clue that
Okay.
aren't in
Sure.
on anything,
Sure.
where are we sitting?
Sure.
What is this looking
We
like?
did have an admin meeting prior to our meeting. We reviewed the resumes. What we have kind of decided is we are looking at next Monday. We already had a workshop scheduled at 6 o'clock. We're going to move that up a little bit, and I hope everybody can make it. We'd like to start at 5:15 and have a council meeting prior to that. And then at 5:30, we would begin interview processes. And we've identified the people we would like to interview. And then when we're done with the interviews, we'd sit down and meet as a group and determine what we want to do with those interviews, which direction we want to
Are you
go.
not still taking applications?
We are. If we get additional applications between now and then, we can identify them if we need to determine we want to interview them or
Okay, because I mean, I do think you will get additional applicants, given the fact last week was the 4th of July and a lot of people were checked out of, you know, are gone, which is
If
not.
we have any others that we can review and we can make, if there's another one or two that we feel we need to interview, we can certainly do that.
Okay.
Do you think we should cancel the workshop then, just after the fact, in case there is?
I guess that's my concern, is if there's more that you're going to be interviewing, we may need to do that.
It will get a little late if we do the workshop after that. If we don't need to do the workshop, we can postpone it maybe for 2 weeks.
That might not be a bad idea.
I just would hate for you guys to, you know, push to get something done when you want to take the time to do these interviews correct and have the amount of time you need.
If we did get a couple more applicants, Nicole, this week, could we even get them on that day? I mean, if it works for their schedule, but let's say they pop in Friday and we can't get them on the schedule, could we, how do we have to post for that?
We would have to post for that if we're doing full council interviews.
Only for full council interviews then? Which is why.
Because we're thinking of doing a
posting
full
for
council.
this one.
Okay.
This would be full council.
Full council.
That's what I was-
Okay.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
going to do
That's what we-
the interim portion of
come
just
up
the
with.
admin interviewing. Good point, I probably should have mentioned that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
So it's going to be a full
I agree
council
with that.
interview.
I
So
like that.
that's why we do, the plan is to do it in front of the workshop if we do a workshop.
Sure.
And, you know,
Or we could postpone the workshop for the 2 weeks and then just do these interviews.
correct.
If we
Give it the
have
right time.
more
If we get more, we have time to fit them in there.
Yeah, I mean, if I say if we have more than 2 more applicants, then yeah, let's postpone it. I think we might be able to get 1 more in, but 2, I'm probably pushing it.
So
And
how
then, how many are we talking right now?
I think a lot sometimes
We're
it's scary.
we're talking a number of people.
Okay.
How's that?
That's fine.
Okay?
Yep.
So,
And I would say we should be looking at postponing that
Yeah.
workshop.
workshop
I agree.
automatically, and then let's
Concentrate on.
concentrate on
Okay.
getting
Yeah.
somebody
Friday,
hired.
there's more than.
And that's kind of my philosophy
What's that?
of getting this done. If
Yeah.
we offer, if we determine who we are going to hire, we offer them the position at the 22nd meeting, and they have to give 2-week notice. All of a sudden, we're out to the middle of August before we start with somebody, and
If it is,
we're
it is,
running
though.
into issues there. So I'd sooner get this done sooner rather than later. Yes, there's a possibility we have 1 more week where more applicants could come in, and if any of them come in that are worth talking to, I think we should sit down and do that.
Agreed.
And,
Or even possibly do a workshop like an hour before city council one time, then the next time do an hour before just to catch up if we need to, an hour before.
Yeah, the
city
only
council.
issue with the before council meetings is that Donnie has a commitment with the planning and zoning. So,
Shame on you, Dan.
yeah,
I'm just
no, we need him there. But yes, we could, the workshop was mostly geared toward updating people on different things, so we can move that back 2 weeks. I have, or to whatever we feel we can get.
I'd rather do that and concentrate on getting the administration done.
Okay. Yeah, I
Get through
agree.
those interviews, let's
Getting,
make sure we
getting this
I
person
agree.
in place
ample
is
time to get it done right and get it over
priority
with.
right now. Okay, so what we're looking at then is we're looking for a motion to, we're jumped ahead of the interim pay thing, which we're gonna come back to, but we're looking for a motion to change our workshop on July 15th to, to be basically interviews. Can we start at 5:15 yet? Does that work for everybody?
I'll make it work.
Jackie?
Yeah.
5:15 to 5:30, and then at 5:30 we'll begin the interviews, we'll have them all scheduled out. And when we're done with the interviews, we'll have a closed meeting, and we'll discuss them and hopefully come forward with a direction. So I need a motion then.
Back up the one thing. Is Nicole going to be part of that process that night?
No, she will not be. She will be out of town.
I'm going to be on the phone conference.
I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. I mean, we're replacing a job that she does,
Yeah.
and none of us can answer to that. I think it's important that you be a part of that. If you're available, I would like that person like that.
Yeah, if she can, if you're okay with it, Nicole.
Yeah, I
certainly.
will be down in Rochester, so I won't be anywhere near, but
You won't be doing anything
Or
after
do you
fun.
have, like-
Yeah.
Do you
I'll
have
just
like
sit.
the capability to do video? Because we can do video too, so if you wanted to do that, we can even. stuff. I think that would even be more beneficial than just, and I have Messenger, we can do something, Facebook Messenger or something. Yeah.
Nicole, as other applications come in, will you send them to the admin committee then review those and then decide if there's some?
Yep. And if we feel there should be on the interview list, we'll just send them up. Okay? Anything else on that?
So you want a motion to move the workshop back to the
Change the
29th?
workshop, yes. No, wait a minute. We're going to do the workshop on July 15th.
Or we leave it
Well,
at
no,
15th?
for the interview.
Oh,
For the
yeah, I'm
interview.
sorry. For the
That's not
workshop,
the
yes,
workshop.
I'm sorry. We're going to change the July 15th workshop to be interviews and move the workshop. Is the 29th okay for a workshop?
We can do 6 o'clock, that works.
Monday at 6? 29th?
But I didn't have anything that I said, so.
Probably.
Okay. All right,
So I will make the motion to change the workshop until the July 29th at 6 PM. And in that same thing, then the workshop for this Monday changes to interviews starting at 5:15,
motion's been made by Donnie
right?
to change our workshop to July 29th. We change July 15th to be an interview session.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Lynn. Okay, all in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Back to interim pay. This very clearly could be at least a month. You know,
Or more.
yes, or more. The earliest we would be offering a position would be July 22nd. That we could offer it, even in our workshop, we can't offer it officially
Until the meeting night.
until the meeting night. So, what do
So
we think?
if our starting pay then is $24.50, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah.
Then I think that's what we should probably bump her salary to during the interim.
Yes, I agree.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm good with that.
I mean, at that stage, she's doing her job as well as that job.
Yeah.
And if that would be our normal starting pay, that's what I think she should get to presently.
is that acceptable, Carrie?
Sure.
Well, it's not a sure, it's a yes or no.
I liked your first offer more, but
The 27, yeah, I'm sure.
And nothing against the job that you'll do, Carrie, because you'll do great. But we all know when we have jobs, sometimes you have to step in when people leave. I'm accepted to step in too at times. We all are. I don't get a bump in pay, unfortunately. I wish I did. But, I mean, it's better than where you were at.
I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing with you, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to use the taser twice. Not a bump. I'll make the motion, $24.50.
Motion's been made to bump
I'll second
Deputy Clerk Carrie Tyson's wage to $24.50 an hour during the interim period. Seconded by Jackie. All in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Christian, you were up.
And be careful, this could be the first time she opts for that late taser.
Next Sunday, Chris. I thought you had to work all summer.
I don't have too much for you guys. I just have a couple fire officer positions that the terms were up on them. So there's 2 positions that we posted for 2 weeks. First one was training officer. Phil Scribner was the one that was a current training officer. He had filled out the terms, so it was 3-year terms. He filled out the remaining 2 years on the term. And he was the only applicant, so he would be staying in that position. Great job for us. And then the other one would be assistant secretary. That was Jamie Lidkey. He had done 2 terms, so he was there 6 years. He could do another, but he chose not to. Scott Sayre was the applicant for that one. And his background he do for us will be a great help to Bob, secretary position and everything that he's helped with. So good candidates for both positions, and it would be my recommendation to hire Phil Scribner as the training officer again, and Scott Sayre as the assistant secretary.
Okay. We should do those motions one at a time. So,
I'll make a motion to renew Phil Scribner's term.
Motion's made to renew Phil Scribner's term as training officer. Motion made by Kyle and seconded by
I'll second.
Jackie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll make a motion to put Scott Sayer as the assistant secretary.
Motion's been made to move Scott Sayre to the assistant secretary position.
And I will second
Motion made
that.
by Lynn and seconded by Donnie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else, Chris?
Not too much else. We're pretty much halfway through our year right now. Our run total right now is at 29. Typical year, we're somewhere around 60 to 65, so looks like we're right on track. We're on track there. I don't know a lot.
Very good.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, it turned out very well, and we've got a lot of compliments, so.
Yeah. On the fire hall?
Yeah.
The doors? Yeah, you know, local resident did call me and made a suggestion, which was a great suggestion, putting some lights inside, some spotlights shining down on the trucks inside the building.
Oh,
That
that's
really
so
showcase
cool.
those
Yeah,
trucks in there.
kind of got that in the works. We had Brian come and
Okay.
Brian Moser from Common Electric,
Yep.
take a look at that, so.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That'll look awesome. The
I
kids will
think that
love it.
was really nice.
Yeah, pretty cool, I think, to move on.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good reflection of the community.
Yeah, it's very nice for the city of Pierz. It's a nice building to have on Main Street that looks to it. So,
Yeah. Very good.
thank you to all of you guys for helping.
You did that well.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Rick, do you want to go, Nick? Bob, can we wait with you? Sure. Eric?
Good evening, everybody. I need a motion or some guidelines by the council is the new squad cars in, so I need to get approval to put the old squad car out for bids. I have a dollar amount in mind of $67.50 for reserve. That's what they're currently going for an auction up north. And I have some local people that reached out to me that are interested in it. So I put the reserve on there, follow the guidelines, and Nicole would tell me to post it and see if they're the two that are willing to pay that and give them a title and let them walk. $67.50, I think it's a very fair number, but that way we can keep them moving and get insurance off and get it moving. So I need a motion from the council to make that happen.
And to expand on this, I did have a conversation with Eric and had a conversation a little bit with Bob. Donnie and I had discussed it too with Public Works about whether or not we could utilize that squad car. On the prior new squad car we got, the fire department took over the old squad car and they used it as a chase vehicle. Real need for a second one, not really enough need on the part of Bob's part for using it as a vehicle. So I think our thoughts were that our best thing to do would be to get the 6,700 off of it, 6,750. Sure. From there.
So I just need a motion. Cool.
Yeah.
I motion to approve the squad car, $67.50 to go up for purchase.
Motion made by Jackie to post the sale of the squad car for $67.50.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Lynn. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Does he have the ability to lower that price if they come back and offer him something else, or has he got to come back?
If that's your minimum, they should be going up from there, huh?
Have we done that in the past, Bob, with you, if we get reserve?
No, we've reissued the bid.
Okay.
Just a thought.
I think then I'd just reissue it, maybe if the two local would want that, see what kind of numbers come in before. Because they take them every 3 months up there, then I just take it north and send it across the auction block and be done.
Okay.
So-
Eric, you can list it on that Gov Deals, and everybody in the country sees it. We've sold stuff out east using it.
If both of them are interested, are we going to have them seal a bid?
Seal bids and let Nicole, at the time of the end, Carrie, she can take them and hold them at
Yeah.
the closing date and see if they are.
They can give their latest and best offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Freedom Fest coming up this weekend, so it's gonna be a busy weekend. We're gonna have 3 officers from the city of Pierz out there per the county's request, assisting like we always have. So it'll be a busy weekend, but I'll assign Kelvin on Saturday. He'll be a call car for Pierz, so at no time there'll be nobody in Pierz if calls come up. Kelvin was assigned to take care of the city, and then falls back to Freedom Fest. So we'll have patrol here. Barb Treader has her annual Bands Behind Bootleggers Friday night. I'll be working that evening I've never had a problem there yet. It's always been a very low-key event. So that'll be good, and then I publicly want to thank Ms. Boss Lady down here that she's my third city administrator, and it's been fun, so you're gonna be missed. But you've done a great job. So, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And yes, Freedom Fest, so we'll have a lot of officers in town if
Yes.
we need them. Yeah, Freedom Fest this weekend, and that is a big deal. It's a great thing put on by the commercial club. Get out
It
there
is.
and see
Good
if
event.
you haven't.
Good event.
It's a great event, and you have very, very few incidents, considering the number of people that are there and everything else that goes down. Bob?
A few employment issues. We'd like to hire another clubhouse staff member, Tiffany Plafkin. She's got some cooking experience and we can start her at $10.50 per hour. That was recommended by Mary and myself to hire her nights and weekends, which is
Yeah. I had talked to Tiffany also. She's got some good experience. She actually is a cook at Coburn's Deli, in the Coburn's Deli, so she's done that before. She's dealt with customers before. And I did talk to Mary about it, and Mary was very impressed with her, so. Certainly. They have hours available, so I'd recommend we go for it.
I'll make a motion to hire Tiffany Plafkin at $10.50 an hour.
I'll second it.
We have a motion made by Kyle to hire Tiffany Plafkin at $10 an hour, seconded by Jackie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That's 10.50 an hour, you said 10.
I 10.50. Did I say 10?
I thought you said 10. Just
I meant
make
to
sure.
say 10.50.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
And the other person would be Kale Becker. He's 16 years old. Right now we've got 2 high school/college kids on the grounds crew at the golf course. Be nice just to bring that third person in even mid-season. Nick Sean's been there 2-3 years just to kind of take him under his wings. That can give him a fair amount of training. Next year kind of just be ready to go. It seems like on the maintenance end, there's always more and more stuff to do, so just having that extra hand it's a good thing.
That will, hopefully can help allow bringing Paul uptown a little bit more.
That's part of the thoughts too. Paul, I'd like to see him uptown one day a week just to kind of relieve some of that for me and get him trained on everything I do.
The work you're doing down there, right?
I think some of the overtime that even all of you guys are, the summer's been tough and the spring is always tough, so I think we talked about that at one of our meetings, and just the overtime stuff, we can keep that, keep the guys, I don't know that they want to be working that much either, so.
So we start Kale at
$10 per hour.
for a motion.
Make a motion to hire Gail Becker for grounds dog park.
Motion is made by Lynn to hire Kale Becker at $10 an hour for grounds at the golf course.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Donnie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously.
And the third item on the employment would be Will Heschke. Last year we hired him at $9 an hour, just kind of a housekeeping. Minimum wage increase to $94. So we'll bump him to $10 an hour just to be in compliance with that. And then back pay.
He's there now.
He's there now.
He's running for us, he's working for us now.
Yeah, so right now we have Nick Shaw, Will Heschke, and then we'll hire Kale. The other Alice Poster didn't come back, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the increase from $9 to $10 for William with the back pay.
Motion made by Jackie to move William Heschke from $9 to $10 an hour and also give him the necessary back pay. Seconded by
I'll second it.
Donnie. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Surprised me there. So quiet for so long. Okay, sure.
Next item, pavement resources. I had a bid in your packets for spray injection patching. I like to do that in streets that are just not real bad, but they can get a light skin patching as well.
Well, look, what streets are you looking at?
So we do 4th Avenue North, Edward Street. It's one of the big ones that we get done. Reds Auto, be 1st Avenue North, and Summer Street. It's basically one day of patching. They bring a truck of rock and X amount of oil, gallons of oil. And then they run out at the end of the
they did on Park last year, Bob?
Yeah, county hires. This is becoming a pretty popular way to patch. I mean, it's just a good.
So they don't do all the cracks though either, do they? 'Cause I noticed some that they kind of hit most of the ones that go this way and none that go this way. I didn't know the reasoning, but.
So the newer roads, you crack seal, just a 3/4 inch rubber seal, and then as they get cupped down, and you get a bigger cup, then you go in with that spray injection patching, and just kind of do a leveling that way. It's not fixed, I mean, you can fix the big deep potholes, but the skin patching is the best application for this.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid or the approval of the services for pavement resources for 3,400.
Motion's made by Kyle to approve the pavement repair patching for 3,400, seconded by Jackie. All in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Opposed? Anything else?
One more patching item, Knife River, kind of a different way to patch is cut out, remove old asphalt, and then patch it hot mix. Got a number of items like that around town, 2,000 square feet, including the golf course, through the curb cuts. So about 2,000 square feet, it's anywhere from $3.50 to $4 per square foot, depending if we go one lift or two lifts. So it'd be between $7,000 and $8,000 for that. Had one spot on the alley where I dove down late spring with the plow and it just tears up. I got these little alligator tracks and it just blows apart. At that point, it needs to get cut off and patched. So it's something we kind of do every year. It's just
Yeah, I think I've seen that come through, but this is kind of the first of this stuff usually that I've seen come through this year.
great. So for
As they're doing in front of the school, they're digging, they will be replacing that. That won't be part of the city, correct?
correct. Yes.
I'll make the motion to do your 2,000 square feet. You'll be telling them if it's a single layer or double?
Yeah. Kind of match what's existing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Motion was made by Donnie, seconded by Lynn to approve the patching that Knife River will be doing around the golf course and some other places in town. All in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Next item. Electrical issues from Minnesota Power. We did have an electrical meeting with the Minnesota Power rep there. 3 times in the last several months we've had brownout, part power issues. All 3 just kind of separate issues. The short of the meeting was we want answers from Minnesota Power to say what's going on. This is not acceptable for our customers. So we're expecting that. Everyone gave them a deadline, I suppose. It's equipment failure, basically, is what it boils down to. And I know the equipment fails as well.
We expect better.
We expect better.
We don't expect to have
Sounds like Little
brownouts
Falls
every
had the same
month.
thing this last weekend again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're at the mercy of equipment, a lot of equipment. So,
And we're at their mercy as far as the only thing we can do is replace it with somebody else,
yeah,
so.
it's being looked at, I guess, is the short answer to it. And then I asked Scott to come here too. There was some stormwater issues that have been coming up just as people develop parking lots. Neil needs essential help even with the new accounting firm, just to give us some ordinance guidelines on stormwater. We really don't have much. Maybe Scott can come up and just talk about that a little bit. Because Kyle had approached me and we really don't have anything in our ordinances.
Yeah, I mean, Bob pretty well described it. I mean, you do have some stormwater provisions in your ordinances, but they really could use some refreshing and clarifying. So I guess what I'm suggesting or offering, I guess SEH could look at them and bring back some proposed verbiage changes. If that's something you're interested in. Just seems to be coming up periodically with these, not the big 30, 50 lot subdivisions, but more of these, you know, like you said, tear down a house and
Put a
parking lot in, and where does the drainage go?
guess the idea is to protect the neighbors as well as our system.
Yeah.
And not overload the state highway system.
Not have water standing in places, and all of the
Right,
above.
some treatment and things like that, so.
So you're thinking our ordinance is a little weak on some of these?
Yeah, and I don't know, I read through it and I even had one where stormwater people looked through some of the language, like, for instance, that's in the subdivision ordinance, and it's really hard to understand what even the intent was on some of it, to be honest, so. So we'd like to take a shot at.
This would be
some of
something that planning and zoning would probably have to look at when they start looking at building permits or.
Yeah, whatever your approval process is.
That we do right now, we don't have a way, or we don't have any knowledge of saying, oh, you have to have your water drained this or
Right.
that way.
Right.
That's more or less based on their engineer or the city's engineer to say, hey, you're gonna make this much parking lot, and it has to flow. Plan and zoning would be the one to.
So you're right.
Seems like where we're missing is on these smaller ones that dip below, say, like state or federal permits, you know, it's pretty more local, but yet it's still important.
And some of those are
So-
probably things that the normal naked-eye person won't notice and or see until it's done.
Right.
We've got the parking lot done, and then all of a sudden, water's not draining. So,
Yeah, and it for sure protects the business owners too, because less maintenance they're gonna have to do if they get it done right first.
What kind of cost for you guys to look at?
Well, I guess Bob and I were talking about that. I mean, we have a general engineering number set up with you. I mean, I could propose to do it like hourly, not to exceed $1,000 when I take it back here, and I'll scope it more if you're interested in moving forward. Talk it over internally. If we think it'd be more than that, I'll bring back a number for you, if that's, seems reasonable.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, let me do that.
Do you need a motion on that, or?
No, we already have an open
Agreement.
contract with him.
It's up to you if you want to do that, or
I think
We've
consensus.
already got it in place, so that's.
Yeah, right.
So let's
Yeah.
block
Tell us
that.
what it's gonna be and it's
Very
already
good.
there, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we put it in place.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right, there's
sure.
things that come up from
Right.
time to time, this is a perfect example.
I like that a lot.
So you're not, I thought, I was kind of hoping you were here to present the campground.
Already, my God.
Thought you were gonna get up here
Wishful
so
thinking.
quick.
My next, I did move it up.
Well, we do have another meeting in
Not to
2
July.
weeks.
I remember it was saying September.
September.
Yeah, I was gonna say September.
Maybe it was
better.
August. Okay.
Well, we did, in reality, Scott, we did discuss it at the park board at length, and the sooner we get it, the better.
Right, yep, no, understood.
So, okay. Thank you very much, appreciate what you do. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Bob. Do you have to hire anybody?
Cool.
Do you have to hire anybody?
I don't have anything other than I just want to say thank you to city council and staff for everything. It's been a pleasure getting to know everybody and I'm sad to go, but
You gotta do the best for your family.
Just better not speed when you leave town, Nicole.
She got her tabs renewed?
Yeah,
Edith
I
holding
did
cell.
give, about an hour ago in our meeting, I did give her a chance to rescind her resignation. She hasn't done that yet. but
Calvin put out the
got
strips,
one more
so she's
day.
gonna have 4 flat tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so kind to me, thank you.
It's been tough to get out of here.
All the background.
We do appreciate all you've done, Nicole. You've done a great job. We are sorry to see you leave, we really are. Certainly, I hope you're the best, both with your new endeavors, with Sartell, and also with your family issues and everything. So, if there's anything we can ever do, give us a call. And I know you've already told us we can lean on you with questions and stuff, and we will do that, so,
We're utilizing that week of vacation pay she's taking.
yes. So she'll be welcoming the calls then.
Yes, I will be, I was just sitting there doing nothing, so.
Okay.
That's all I have for you guys for the
with that, I just again remind everybody Freedom Fest is this weekend, so if you've never gotten down there, it's just put on by our commercial club. It's just a great event. They do a bang up job with that, so if you're bored Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, go on
Into the
down.
wee hours of Sunday.
And the wee hours of Sunday, go on down.
So you're looking for me to make a motion to adjourn?
That's 4. It's me. Motion's been made by Donnie to adjourn, seconded by Nicole.
She can't, but she wants to.
All in favor indicate by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you all for coming.